Thank you so much for tuning in last week. We had the Hour of Power with one of the most powerful young ladies I've had the honor and privilege to work with, Ms. Fasana Patel. And I really don't need to go into it again, but here's what I'm going to share with you. My wife and I built 30 companies, and my wife was really the powerhouse, the brain behind it. We sold 21 of those companies. We joint ventured with a few of them, and we only took full ownership and leadership with 7 of those companies to be able to run. A very good friend and mentor of mine, Mr. Vinny Cochran, I wanted to basically build a business where I can help him get to where he needs to go and do something together. But right as I came up with that idea to do so, my wife said to me, well, now that you've given me my only goal I've ever wanted in life, which was to be a mother and be home and not have to worry about money, I just want to be a mom, and by default, I want to be your wife. And then I said, well, what does that mean? We're about to launch this new last company, company number 8, the Infinity Company. And my wife says to me, these were her exact words, I don't know, figure it out. You did it before, go do it again. So then I focused on finding a CEO that could do what my wife was doing to help me run these other 7 companies and the 8th that I was going to build. Knowing that that was, well, not knowing then, but unknowingly, that was unfair to one person to then take them and put them in the middle of these 7 companies and then run an 8th. So along that journey, I found 7 other CEOs to run those other companies. But the new company, the Outcomes and Breakthrough Mastermind, had to have its own unique person, a woman, which I was looking for. All my CEOs are women except for one, because women are just so dynamic. And I knew how to work with a powerful woman because I was doing that for 16 years. I needed to find another one. Ideally, Fasana was literally 1 year younger than my wife when we started. Speaking of which, the angel showed up. But Fasana was already young, energetic, enthusiastic, and excited, and ambitious. Those were my 5 key qualities. So you can have those women, a dime a dozen, really good, ambitious women. But the one thing I was looking for was to be grounded. And that's what my wife did. So I needed a partner, a CEO that would able to tell me like, Dr. I like you and all this all good, but if your ish stinks, I'm gonna help you fix it. So she was that holistic component. And last week, she kind of got in the middle of her talk and we realized it's time to bring this woman back on again. Today, what you're going to find out from this young lady is really not really why we chose her, but why she chose us. From her journey that she's been. Today, I think she's going to share all the vulnerable stuff. Don't be surprised if she makes you cry or if she does too. But the person you see today in front of you, this powerful goddess woman of holistic living, putting that into our, look, our company logo and branding changed to bring holistic disciplines into massive success because of her. That's what a good CEO does. They make one decision, shift stuff, and then you're like, damn. So here's my damn for you today. You're going to find the rest out, but without any further ado, I am actually going to take myself off screen, take my notebook out and take some notes, because today she's not going to teach, she's going to preach, and you're going to learn something, and she's going to share with you. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, my favorite daughter of this decade, none other than Miss Fasana Patel. Take it away, young lady. Woo, woo.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to talk about experiencing a training of someone who is truly embracing flow, because this is one of the concepts that I am so incredibly passionate about teaching. But the truth is that we're never done learning. We are always growing. We are always evolving. We are always transforming. And you know, in our industry, there is a beautiful saying that change is inevitable, but personal growth is a choice. Transformation is a choice. And my energy is like this big right now because of the things that are happening in my world that I've literally been planning and preparing for like 15 years. Okay, so I'm going to just dance inside of my head, or maybe sometimes outside of my head with all of you. But before I get into anything today, I have to shout out and show love and appreciation to two human beings who walked into my life where I was at a point of starting to burn out and starting to really feel the overwhelm of being a power couple all by myself. How many of you on this call have spent the last 5 to 10 years really focusing on your mastery, on your expertise, because you're operating from this place of passion and excitement and love and servitude, and you start seeking questions and answers coming to you about the universe and life and love and relationships and just so Obam and Anna Bowen came into my life at a point where, you know, people are gifted to us on this journey. I was just having this conversation with one of my favorite humans on the call, Mr. Omar Moses. When we pray to God and when we ask the universe to bless us and to help us and to serve us, we never know the how of how God is going to come through. So we have to start training our minds to understanding how we are in fact being blessed. Challenges and obstacles are an example of how that happens for us so that we can break through whatever problem we're facing or dealing with. That's one example. Because you always become so much more strong from everything that happens to you. See, people like us, we never lose. We either learn or we win. And because we're learning as we win, we're learning and we're winning all the time simultaneously. So, number 2, there will be people that come into your life simply to bless you, to love you, to guide you, and to make you better than you can become by yourself. Because really and truly, it really does take a team to build a dream. You can't do this by yourself. And I met this power couple. I'm so glad they're off camera right now, because seriously, like, the waterworks are already there. You can feel it in my energy. I just really want to provide you with as much value as I can in this next hour. So guys, I love you. Stay off camera. Thank you very much. No words. I have no words, just love for this family that has come into my life, that has welcomed me into theirs. Because, see, when you deal with individuals who choose themselves to be leaders, to lead movements, to shift paradigms, to create change in themselves, first and foremost, in their communities, and on bigger platforms like create change within countries. What about the world at large? People like us who are visionaries, who know that we have been placed on this planet for a reason. We're here for a purpose. We take life very seriously. And when you really start to understand and deep dive into psychology and sociology and human potential and behavior, as much of the healing work and the inner work that we can do to learn how to trust more and have bigger faith and believe deeper in the magic, the miracles, the blessings, the abundance, the opportunities, the beauty of what we want life to become for ourselves. There's a process. There's a growth process. There are learning curves that you will manifest for yourself if you decide to commit to this journey. And these two mentors of mine, literally, I'm the hybrid of the two of them. It's very cool. I'm a sociologist, but I'm also a human potentialist. So that within myself, I've been dealing, you guys, with internal conflicts since I can remember being on this planet. I've been dealing with battles that I fight behind the scenes that I never felt comfortable displaying to anyone. I never understood life the way that everyone else seemed to understand it. And therefore, when I really took a stance for myself, because you have to do that in your life, you have to choose you first. Whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship, you have to choose you. You have to learn you. You have to empower you first and foremost, because Carrie spoke about something so beautiful yesterday about becoming a superhuman. And I love that concept. I teach that concept by being that concept for the people in my life, for my clients. We're all superhumans deep down at our core. We're born as superhumans. But the question is, are you going to fight for your magnificence? Are you going to fight for your brilliance? Are you going to go through life and really do the soul searching? It's not really searching, guys. You already have it within you. It's a matter of, are you going to allow yourself to really identify your strengths, your God-given gifts and your talents? And then are you going to put years and years into mastering and developing yourself? I think that all of my dreams are coming true in this very season of my life. Because what I've personally done is I have taken my understanding of conscious leadership and conscious relationships to the next level. And how have I done that? I've realized that I'm back in a space where I'm building a brand new business that has me working harder and being more exposed to so many people and energies, whereas that's not what I decided for myself before. My life coaching practice is like the perfect business setup for someone who is so highly empathic and someone so deep who simply desires to just be connected to source, to God, to the universe in every second of the day. See, I'm sharing this with you to start today off because I work very hard on being able to show up and shine. I work hard to be able to show up, to be the best version of myself so that I can give as much to you as I can. And you out there watching this, you're supposed to learn how to get out of your head and get out of your comfort zone. And you're supposed to hear me tell you to stop doing it alone. Because only when you really surround yourself with growth-minded individuals, like the people in my family, in my soul family. My soul family, by the way, is a mastermind. My soul family include geniuses and brilliant-minded people, just like Anna and Obam and Steph and Omar and Alka and Carrie and Kayla and Annie and Ahmed. I'm going like through the people on this call personally. Trainer Jane, Andy, welcome. You know, Afia is on here, Adam, and so many other people that I'm allowed to be my authentic self with. And they receive me wholly and completely. And we learned how to work together and synergize where we both are individually on our journeys so that we can create a very empowering space so that we can grow together. Like when I get into like flow, when I'm speaking, a lot of you have seen my Facebook lives from the past and I get really passionate. Some people think I'm yelling at the camera. Listen, if you took 15 years, if you struggled for 15 years to fight for the people. Andy, if you want to mute your mic, love, that would be very appreciated. Please and thank you. If you spent 15 years fighting for the opportunity that was going to allow you, I got you, there we go, that is going to allow you to really embody your God-given purpose, you'd be this excited and this passionate and this perceivably angry too, okay? We're just vessels. We are just pieces of a puzzle that until we become aligned and we become clear on who it is that we are, then we can show up authentically. Then we can realize, okay, you know what? I need to be really strong for Karen right now. I'm going to just coach Karen through this because I've been through this situation and I know I can help her by empowering her and reminding her of her worth and reminding her that she is deserving and that she deserves the best that the world has to offer. But she has to believe that for herself in order for her to start making different choices and different decisions so that she can actually change and experience change from inside out. Would you agree? So many of us, we try and be Superman and Superwoman all the time. Is that we're made in the image of God, and therefore we have unlimited and untapped potential inside of all of us right now. But the truth is that spirit having a human expression to all of you. Have you identified the tribe of the soul family, the divinely guided people and mentors and teachers and trainers that you've actually asked for, whether it's subconsciously or consciously, that have come into your world to bless you? That you can learn from them. Because if what you've gone through in your own life, are you open to understanding that? And at the time, are you also open to surrendering? Surrender your ego. Surrender who you think you need to be and show up in service to contributing to a bigger mission, a bigger vision, a bigger collective, where you can then show up and display your leadership capabilities and get recognized for actually serving in the grander scheme of things. I know that, this conversation, long story short, I just got off. I'm going to brag a little bit, and I'm also going to share with the family. Guys, we had a call today with John and Belinda. Oh my goodness. We had a call with Dubai, Taiwan, the United States, and Canada this morning. That's literally going to set a precedent in history based on all 5 of us coming together and experiencing that call together. I want you guys, Karen, Steph, Omar, Adam, I want you guys to start asking questions of the type of conversations that you'd have. I won't say your names just out of respect for privacy, but I want you to ask questions that you normally ask me on our one-on-one calls, because today's training is really going to be about conscious relationships and conscious leadership. Because at the end of the day, when we all take the responsibility of learning how we can show up, this is the outcome that we want to experience. This is the type of thinking and energy that we want to pass down to our children. This is the type of legacy that we want to leave. It's intellectual property. It's energetic property. Like one of my photos here, you'll see it says, "Water me while I water you, and let's grow together." Right? Let me give you a very vulnerable, very transparent example of how this applies in my life. I literally just poured my heart out for a couple of people that I'm really, really close with. And we've gotten close based on the fact that I've had the blessing and pleasure of coaching them. They believed in me. They felt the crazy in me that was like, okay, how does she just show up and just like, she just doesn't care about what people think. I love to empower people. It's one of my strengths because from a young age, I've always needed to be that person that was poured into and that was empowered. And when it comes to you succeeding and you thriving as operating successfully and effectively as part of a team, you have to get over yourself at a certain point. I had to get over myself big time in these last 8 months because here I am, this like hybrid of a sociologist and a potentialist and mindset coach and empowerment coach and turned speaker, turned author. And here comes a bigger, badder versions of me that have been presented to me as mirrors in life. Because again, we're all mirrors of one another. If there's something you love about me, if authenticity, if confidence, if feminine energy, if you love that about me, it actually has nothing to do with me in your world. I'm just a mirror reflection. You love that about me because you know it exists within you. You might admire it within me because you're desiring for it to exude more within yourself. And I say exude, but what I really mean is like pull it out of yourself. We have some questions for my favorite people. I'm a very strong, independent female and human. And at the same time, I'm human. I'm highly emotional, like highly emotional. Like I cry every day, y'all. Like you cannot make this up. And what I've learned at this point is that you have to show up, especially when you make a commitment to other people that you're destined to be with, that you're destined to work with. There is an individual on this call. I'm not going to call that person out because I love them with my whole heart. I love all of you with my whole heart. That's how much love I have to give. And this individual going through their growth and their journey had a tendency of being kind of like a gopher in life, right? In my life. And this individual would do exactly what I did along the journey, where they would show up bright-eyed, energies on point, all love. How can I serve you? Let me. Yeah, I see you laughing over there. You know who you are. But when things would get dark, when the spiritual warfare would kick in, when the mindset imbalances from abundance to scarcity to abundance back to scarcity would kick in, AKA the resolved subconscious stuff that we all have, this individual would go AWOL and MIA and just go back down into the little, okay, I'm just gonna. And I know what this person is going through because I was that person. Where I just wanted to make sure that my mission, that my heart, that my purpose was protected. See, what I love about my family is that everyone in my association, in my circle, are such beautiful, brilliant mirrors of me. When you put in the work behind the scenes and you do the inner work and you do the healing and you do the mindset work and the personal development and you become the leader that God designed you to be, you really start to tap into another level of power. I say personal power because we all have it accessible within us. And the truth is that everything that we dream of and that we envision when it comes to making this world a brighter and better place, we have all of the woman and manpower to actualize that, to get it done, to manifest it right here and right now. And so I told that individual, you know what? I love you. I am a leader. You know this. You've identified it in me. And again, I speak very transparently, very black and white to the people that I'm close to so that they understand my thinking. No walls, full transparency, real and raw. If you're watching this on Facebook right now and you know that I'm talking about you and I, comment me, hashtag me, right? Because the truth is that because I've gone through what he's gone through, I know how to show up and hold space. But at the end of the day, I reminded him yesterday, you have to show up for your own rescue. You do. Because as much as I love you, and as much as I want to see you thrive, not just survive, thrive and succeed, I can't help you if you're not willing to help yourself. Damn it, show up to our calls, right? So at the end of the day, like I'm deciding, I've chosen to have a more spiritual and energetic relational conversation with you, because my mentor said something to me that I repeated to someone else yesterday that is so profound. And he said, Fasana, I don't speak to people anymore. I speak to the universe through my conversation with people. You're always talking to the universe, and you're always also talking to your subconscious mind. I need you guys to understand this. I love that you're all looking down. That means you're taking notes. Woohoo! Must mean I'm providing some value. Okay. You're always talking to the universe as well as your subconscious or unconscious. It's the same part of the mind that we're referring to. Mind all the time. I was listening to this guru on, literally, he's like an Indian guru that I came across on Facebook, and he was having a conversation about the importance of your subconscious mind. See, in my world, I've been doing so much research on these concepts for so long. The way my holistic brain works, I like to really create leverage. I really love to do this in terms of my energy, so that the stronger I become mentally, the stronger I can show up for you. The stronger I become physically, the stronger I become financially, the stronger I become relationally. And I started to realize, if I just think about my subconscious mind and the universe very similarly, I'll do things like I'll have really positive self-talk. Literally, before I got on this call, I've had a nonstop morning, you guys. For those of you who know me, I normally start my day, my work day, at noon, so that I can spend from the time I wake up to noon getting in preparation, organizing myself from inside out, getting my workout in, drinking like 2 of these. This is water, by the way, before I start my day, because I've learned to create holistic habits that I am unapologetic about. I don't explain myself to anybody anymore. For those of you who know me, you know I'm certified batshit crazy. Yes, I said shit twice. So that being said, I'm getting a question. I'm getting questions here. This is awesome. You are capable of so much more than you currently are. And in life, we don't attract what we want. We attract who we are. So you might wonder sometimes, why is she always talking about energy? Why is she always talking about her vibration? Because the more you learn to love and respect and honor yourself, the more abundance you will attract, the more love you will attract, the more blessings and beauty and miracles and magic. I can go on and on all day long. But essentially, the better your quality of life becomes. So as a man or woman of God and faith and love and truth, universal truth, you're able to just show up and be that much more authentic in your being. Okay, we have a question. The question is, talk about the 4 stages to reaching the awakening process that you always refer to, and how people identify which one they are in so they can grow. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a brilliant question. Thank you to the beautiful individual who asked it. And let me go to a photo for you. Oh, no, not broadcast. Come on now. Stop that. No. I'm so nervous right now, you guys. Like, I'm just so excited. This is my favorite thing to talk about, and here we are talking about it. So, pictures. Okay. I'm a high visual. I love to learn visually speaking. Oh, that was my boo who asked. Thanks, boo. I love you. So, we're going to talk about, this is really cool because yeah, we're gonna do this. Here we go. The last time we had a conversation last week, I went through the 4 stages of learning. Do you guys remember that? You go from being consciously incompetent, which means you don't know what you don't know, right? All the way up to unconscious competence, which is now, that's when you've reached mastery. It's when you just wake up and you just are. Your behavioral patterns have been ingrained into doing the things that work so well. You just flow. You're a master. Let's talk about this. Thank you for asking, my love. So this diagram shows you those same 4 levels of learning, but every single human being is experiencing one of these stages. The goal for us is awakening. The goal is to become unconsciously competent so that we apply. Listen to when I say apply. That means take action. That means do all of the holistic, abundant habits that are available to us and also necessary for us to really both achieve the goals that we desire as well as maintain them. It's one thing if you can get the goal, but can you sustain it? See, the type of living that I've been exposed to with my mentors, traveling with them to Hawaii and traveling around the world, doing 2-day events to really help other people understand information like this. It's so much fun and it's so enlightening. And when you're surrounding yourself with people who've already figured it out, there's so much to learn just because they just are. It's just the way that they operate authentically, organically, based on the result of the personal growth that they've done. So I want you to ask yourself, once we go through these phases, where are you in this diagram? What stage are you on? Because as we grow through our childhood into our teenage years and then adulthood, there comes a time and place where we really have to look at ourselves in the mirror and ask ourselves, okay, am I really happy? Am I fulfilled? Am I on the right path? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing for myself, for my soul? See, most people in the world are at stage 1 of this consciousness diagram. They're in victimhood and they don't even know it because you don't know what you don't know. Now, this is people who say things or think things like, my life sucks. Why me? Oh, that person is rich and famous. Like, ugh, I wonder what kind of morals they had to, give up, or I wonder what they had to do to get there. They blame other people or they blame themselves. Now, I think that a lot of us were in this phase at one point or another in our journeys. And when you get to step 2, stage 2, which is the empowerment stage, where a lot of you are right now, a lot of people are experiencing this because of the shifts that are happening on our planet energetically. This is a really fun stage because now you're at this conscious incompetence phase where you're starting to realize, you know what? I do have the ability to manifest. Oh my goodness, my thoughts do become things. Cool. And you start to become more of a cheerleader for yourself, which is awesome. And for me, this really happened about 6 years ago because after I took some really, really intensely deep and beautiful courses on mindset and NLP and hypnotherapy and holistic studies, it really started to, first of all, answer a lot of the questions as to why I would behave in certain ways, but also it filled in the gaps for me in terms of why I was missing certain things in my reality, in my life that I know I truly desired, but I didn't have. So this is great because once you're in the empowerment phase, it's like new living. It's like a new level that you just get to, that things become more exciting. Life becomes more juicy. You start to really step into your personal power that much more. So I was in this phase for probably about 5 years, up until last September. And the next phase that we talk about is surrender. This is the phase where you really understand that no matter how hard you work or try to create what it is that you desire, both in your world and in the world at large, you might need some help here and there. In fact, you might need a lot of help. In fact, you might need to realize that it's time to manifest the army of people, AKA your soul family, that will step into your life and help you grow, that will help you leverage your time and energy, that will allow you to bitch and complain and whine or cry or take a break or say, I'm exhausted. I need to just, can you handle this? This is when you really start to understand, okay, you know what? Holy crap, I have learned so much. And I was certain that I knew what I thought I knew. But at the end of the day, it's like, there's still more. There's still more to learn. Okay. A lot of people get confused between the empowerment and the surrender phases in life. But this is the way that I've gauged what stage of consciousness I'm in for myself. See, you may experience moments of being completely awakened, which I believe as human beings is the goal we all have. On one level or another, we all desire to live at stage 4, where we're experiencing that unconscious competence. And the universe and us and all parts within us are in such alignment. The only possible results are magic and abundance and connection. But the thing is that when you look around you and the life that you've created and manifested reflects all of your goals being met, which allows you to create from a bigger level. I say holistic wealth a lot because basically when you are creating abundance in your health, in your business, and in your relationships, and you're just on autopilot now, you just continuously do it over and over and over again. That's when you're in the awakened phase of life. See, personally, I'm in stage 3 right now. And it's hard. It's hard sometimes because sometimes when my ego comes up and I've been having revelations all week, like, oh my goodness, I thought that I could have sworn that that was God speaking to me when I decided that I knew about this and this and that. And then I realized, oh, okay, well, I needed that for the version of myself that I was, but now who I am here today. Yeah, that's not, I could probably talk about that a little bit more clearly. I could probably just, I'm in a place in my life where I'm no longer on social media every single day teaching all of the divine downloads. I'm no longer teaching all of the mindset work from all the courses and the designations that I have. Why? Because I'm literally putting in the work behind the scenes so that the next time you see me, I will have to reintroduce myself to you. See, I think that all of us should really aim to lead by example. And you can't do that if you're on social media all day long. Talk about stripping ego to get to the surrender phase, okay? Well, we all have ego. I was having this conversation with one of my beautiful partners yesterday. As human beings, we all have ego. It's part of the experience of being a human. The question isn't, listen, thank you, Rosemary, I appreciate that. The question isn't, you know, how do I turn my ego off? The question is, how do I satisfy and satiate my ego and nurture it and fuel it in healthy ways so that when it comes to making really important choices and decisions, I'm able to differentiate, okay, these thoughts are coming from a place of ego. Okay, yeah, I want to get on this platform so that I can share my message with the world, so I can be the star of the show, so that everybody can know my name and that, you know, me, versus operating from your awareness, which is identifying that actually this is about more than just you. And this is going to require growth from you, which is going to require you to get out of your comfort zone, which is going to require you to identify what you're doing in certain areas of your life that you can in fact do better so that you can show up stronger, so that you can help the collective win. I came up with this theory a long time ago that I know that every conscious leader doesn't only believe, they operate this way. And Obama is the perfect example, because I can give you example upon example of how he's displayed this type of leadership in our relationship and in life in general. Anytime I enter a relationship, I'm always thinking about creating a win-win-win, a trifecta win. It has to be about you winning, it has to be about me winning, and it has to be about the world and the collective consciousness, the globe, the planet, Mother Earth winning. I'm gonna ask my mentor to get on camera and ask me a question, because he's telling me to get more vulnerable, and I'm over here pouring my heart out to y'all. So this is a perfect example of me wanting to, oh geez, I see him on here. Okay, Obama, unmute yourself. This is a perfect example, you guys. Do I have tissue around? Whatever.
Well, you asked for it. You called for it.
I
So
did.
might as
I
well.
did ask for it. So before you go in, let me just say, this is an example of someone around you who is greater than you based on experience and wisdom, that can see something about you that you can't see. If I could see how to be more vulnerable, I would be more vulnerable. So the floor is yours.
That's great. So I just want to clarify, because I know you were in the zone for a second, because, you know, I'm not greater than you, first of all. Let's, you know what I'm saying? Just let's come back.
You're correct. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm just further along in the process.
That's what I meant.
Using my Canadian words here. Further along in the process in this journey. So let's get vulnerable. Let's get started.
Okay.
The beat's just running. Okay, so to be this complete awakening, enlightened woman that you are,
yeah,
let's just get real for a second. Because everybody knows me, knows my brand is RAT, real, authentic, and transparent. You know that, right? It's like you started living with us for a bit. You know that Anna's Mexican, her Kung Fu is Mexican Judo. You don't know if I got a knife, you don't know if I got a gun, but you're gonna get hurt somehow, right? So we're just going to get a little vulnerable. Okay. In your stage, because you are at the level of mastery for you, but being able to go to the next level, it requires one of three things, and we know this. Okay. For those who are watching, here are those three things. The next level before awakening is surrender. So you must either surrender yourself to your creator, and you've done that, and you were searching for answers. The second phase is to surrender ego. That requires service. That's what the monks in Tibet and a lot of that, they serve for a while. The third, this is the one that rocks people's world, is surrendering to a master. And in that process, sometimes for some people, it may seem like surrendering identity. So what I want you to just, in all honesty, share about, because there was that process, there were other so much woke, awakened women who were saying like, oh, you'll be losing your identity, but they have no idea what the hell was going on and where you were at and what you were doing. What I want you to talk about is that emotional process for you, that conflict that you had, the incongruence then with these people who don't know what the hell you're doing and what you're getting to, trying to hold you back to the past that you once were, but they hadn't realized you were about to be enlightened. Okay. So share with us the honest emotions you went through and the stuff you had to conflict and go through yourself, because it was tough, right? We had those conversations. It was tough. You think like, am I losing my identity? It's like, what the really hell is going on? But in order to really get what you wanted, you have to be able to, not have to, you chose to run into someone who's mastered that process and done it themselves to skillfully guide you to. Because today what we're looking at is the sexy, successful, significant, empowered woman. But what was her journey to goddesshood? What was that mind shift between level 3 and level 4? Because that's the biggest one.
Yeah.
So I don't want
Okay.
the pretty answer. I want the, look, if you got the ugly cry on your makeup, it's all good. I want that answer.
Okay. Thank
I'm
you
gonna
for
jump back
asking.
off camera now.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Crazy guy. Gotta love him. When I started working with OBAM, a lot of women who are going through their phase of starting to really empower themselves. I started that phase in my mid 20s. And my mission is to empower every woman on the planet. It's to empower the world. I have a big mission. I'm going to do my best not to curse, because if there are kids watching this, I got you too. My mission is to change the world. I don't do things people tell me to do if they're out of alignment for me and that mission. If you are not serving my mission, there's no space for you in my world. I know that sounds kind of cutthroat, but I'm just keeping it real with you guys. When I met my mentor and he shared with me that his secret plan was to empower women so that we would never have to be dependent or rely on anyone, let alone, family partners, a man, for finances, it hit me here. Because my Achilles heel in my journey has always been finances and money, and consistently using my gifts as an empath, as a healer, as a coach, and getting paid for them on a consistent basis. So when I met him, and then I met Anna and Miracle, and we had an agreement. Okay, I went to Hawaii. I spent 3 beautiful weeks with them, and they were testing me to see if I was like a good apple, and I was testing them to see if they would embrace me and understand my tension and how important this is to me. And I started getting messages from other women who, again, are on stage 2. They're empowering themselves. These are women who have modeled over the years what I've done by leading by example, which I thought was so cute. And they would come to me and they would say, "You're out of alignment. You're putting all of your emphasis and you're giving your platform to this man, and his hand is on your shoulder. Get his hand off your shoulder. You don't need him." I am a master strategist, ladies and gentlemen. I will just tell you that's one of my superpowers, because of the holistic long-term understanding of me wanting to show up and just be authentic and channel and be transparent like this. I love that rat analogy that he has. I love that, because people like us only have time for real, raw, and transparent, and authentic, and organic. That's how we roll. That's the direction the world needs to go. And we are the pioneers. We are the leaders of people taking the world there. So emotionally, part of me felt very disempowered. Part of me was like, dude, you need to get your masterminds running again. You need to start coaching again. There are women who need you to stand in your light and speak your holistic divine truth. Because you know that when you put posts on Facebook, it's serving so many people for you to stand in that trend-setting authentic power, because that's who you are. I'm very clear on that. I know who I am. But at the end of the day, when I did meet someone who's mastered so much of what I've been struggling to figure out and also apply, guys, we can figure out a lot of it up here. That's easy. We have the internet, we have technology to help us figure things out. But if you're not actually in action, if you're not applying it, if you're not seeing results, if you're not being welcomed by, if you're not being welcomed by people that have developed more wisdom, let's say, or who are farther along in the journey. And that's what I meant. Thank you for, see, he linguistic master, right? He's always clarifying, has my back. He's not greater than me. We are equals. We're clear on that. But I also know that he's farther along in the process and in the journey than me. So when it came to surrendering, look, you guys don't even know what we have planned, okay? Some of you do, because you're exclusive VIPs, because you're you. And you've had faith, and you have had trust, and you've studied myself in my journey. You've studied him. I've taught you how to study character and mindset and psychology and behavior, right? But at the end of the day, it's like, for so long, I've been promoting myself, my brand, my image. And I know I've been creating about this much impact, this much. But for me, this much impact wasn't the world. It wasn't. Most recently, the opportunity to showcase my brand and my core message to the world at large, to millions of people around the globe, in countries that I don't currently have access to, was presented to us. He said yes. I was like, we just started another, you want me to do what? And learning about the opportunity that we're now like full-fledged in and excited to be a part of, it's a reverse engineered strategy. So emotionally speaking, yeah, I had parts of me that were like pulling at me, where I was like, I had to call one of the beautiful people on this call to be like, look, I know I'm doing the right thing. I just need you to give me a reminder. I think that the worst thing that we can do as individuals is lose our self-identity and lose the beautiful things about ourselves that we've come to know and learn and love. And there was a time where working with Obam like broke me. And Anna told me it would happen in Hawaii. And I was like, you guys don't know who you're dealing with. Like, seriously, like, I believe I'm thebomb.com. Okay. I do. I'm my biggest fan. And I'm also trained in mental resiliency and emotional intelligence. But I broke, and I literally got deathly sick in December. I was supposed to go on a retreat in Costa Rica. And I got really, really sick. I actually thought I was gonna die, you guys. Like I do not usually take medication because it just goes against my holistic nature. I will like sit there with cramps and I will put myself into a deep trance and self-hypnotize myself until it goes away. But I got really, really sick, and it taught me a lot. It taught me that I need to take care of myself consistently on a daily basis. I need to stay committed to my holistic habits that I've learned over the years. And when I need help, I need to open my mouth and ask. You have to ask in order to receive, and closed mouths don't get fed. And it's crazy because, as proud of myself as I am now, there was a lot of resistance. There was a lot of internal conflict and fight that I was facing, because here I am, someone who typically takes care of herself pretty well, that now, like, everything felt like it was spinning for a bit, you know? And I was like, well, damn, okay. Now what? And for me, my level of trust in other people, my level of trust in God, my level of faith, everything increased for me in this process, because they helped put me back together. And it made me stronger. And it made me reaffirm and re-identify who I know I am. And when we try and do that by ourselves, we're actually losing out on so much opportunity. And I love to say, I love to put opportunity and blessings together, because the truth is that whatever you believe, chapter 4 of Today is the Day, beliefs regulate performance, is that beliefs regulate performance and reality. because we're used to everything is happening for my growth. And I know we're at time for today, so we're going to go a little extra for those of you who are interested in with us. But I do believe that too. I want you to adopt belief is always at play. Divine intelligence is always at play, because when you really understand that fact, and that you are safe and that you are protected and that people are going to come into your life to help you become a greater version of yourself, that's when you really start to experience amazing, amazing growth. And that's when you get to put all of your strengths on the line and really serve, not just as one person, but now you get to serve alongside other people that are also baby geniuses or masters. And we serve as a fist. Because if I were to poke someone, the impact is not going to be as great as if we were to punch them. So we're going to wrap up here for today, ladies and gentlemen. I did my best. I tried to get super vulnerable. I didn't cry. I probably will have to after this call. Yeah. Obam, back to you.
Don't worry. For those of you who are on, you're in suspense for a little bit. So here's the deal. The deal is this. She's done for today, but she isn't done. You probably feel the same way today as you did a couple of days ago. Like, she's in the middle. She can go some more. And that's okay. She will be back Thursday. And Thursday, don't worry, I'll make it interactive, because Thursday will be her, Stephanie, talking about the holistic life, Fasana, putting that together, and the healthy life, how to be holistically healthy. And Stephanie will be on tomorrow, live at 1 p.m. So she got called back too. So 2-power hour with 2 goddesses. But on Thursday, I'm going to join the picture with them, have a conversation with the 3. And I'm going to poke some holes to get, so the Fasana can get a little more vulnerable, so that Stephanie can get a little more vulnerable. And then we're going to spend about 20 minutes doing question and answer. So get your questions together. Last thing I'm going to say is this. Thank you, Fasana, for being vulnerable-ish today. Because as your mentor, there was still another level. And I know that level, but we going to go deep. So if you're on, everybody just put your hands up like this and go and say, deep. Because we're going to go deep. Right? We're going to go deep. And here's the thing. Last point, as Fasana was sharing, in order to awaken, you must surrender. Period. Now, I've created a 5-year, 5-step system that tests this in every area to where my wife and I can walk away from anything else. Today, for the first time, I actually really shared it with Fasana. On that call she was talking about this morning. Do you remember what those 5 steps are, Fasana?
I remember chaos. I remember
chaos
calm.
Is the first step. Calm is the second.
That's all I remember.
Okay, so out of chaos, when you focus, so FOCUS, follow on course until you're successful, you are able to gain calm. Once you gain calm, you can start a routine. Once you have a routine, you create a system. Once you have a system, then you train, promote, and develop leadership. Once that is done, you can then exit state right, because what you have done is good, but everything starts with chaos. So when we started working together, it was chaotic, and she went back to that beginning stage. Today, the master that stands before you has went through those stages, and now she's creating other leaders. So if you want to know how she did that, come back on Thursday. But tomorrow, a lot of us have been getting the gut healthy salad. If you want another extra tip, because look, it's starting to be good already. A lot of us is on it. I got energy for days. I already had them. Now I got it for nights. Thank you, Stephanie. Stephanie, say hi, Stephanie. Stephanie will be on tomorrow sharing. Listen, this young lady is a 2-time award-winning international author. I mean, that's cool. It's all good. But she decided, but wait, there's more. She's also a Guinness Book World Record holder and a bodybuilder. You're going to get to see how she's literally a living Photoshopable person. She's crazy, right? and that smile that's electric. Most importantly, I think one of the most important ones is she recently become one of my daughters. I'm excited. So tomorrow we'll be back on at 1 p.m. live here on Facebook. So we love you guys. Thank you all for being on today. God bless you. Thank you for tuning in. Fasana, you rocked it, broke the mic, dropped it twice. Put it back together because you got to drop it again on Thursday. Love you guys. See you. Take care and see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.
Love
everyone.
you guys. Ciao for now.